It's Wednesday, December 17th, 2014. I'm Rim.
I'm Scott.
And this is Geeknights. Tonight, the delightful Cucumber Quest.
QQ.
It's a webcomic. QQ. QQ.
Let's do this.
So I kind of realized that I'm watching a lot of animation lately. Like, a lot. But I'm not watching a lot of anime. I'm kind of off and on watching Yoa Pedal.
You should just watch Yoa Panel.
Yeah, I should.
Every Monday around afternoon, the new episode's up, and then when you get home, Crunchyroll, you can watch it.
But I was also watching the old Sailor Moon, because now it's getting to the good stuff, and I'm rewatching Utena for obvious reasons.
I ran out of animes. I might have to go back on that Sailor Moon train back when the long hair
So that's
was
the news I
hitting
got
on
here.
Normal girl.
Yeah, so that one, Scott, basically if you have been skipping Sailor Moon, did you get up to Queen Beryl, like getting killed, spoilers and all that?
No, I didn't watch any episodes since long hair guy was hitting on Normal girl.
Oh, yeah, so I guess, Queen Beryl loses.
You don't say.
So it's probably worth it
I
to
didn't
watch.
see that coming at all. That's a total surprise. The bad guy loses. Oh my god.
It is worth it to
shocking.
watch Sailor Moon up until all the way up until Queen Beryl loses, the end of like the first real season. But if you can pretty much skip everything after that up until the first episode of S if you really want to, because
What happens in that period that's skippable is Island episodes?
So first,
Because I want to see some Island action.
First, I watched like the Alan and Ann part. I'd never even watched that in Japanese. Two aliens come down in a tree, and it's card captors. It's like lame-o card captor Sakura for a while. You don't care. Then one of the noble families from the old Moon Kingdom, who are all evil and fucked up and are on the bad guys team, they come from like the Nega Moon and try to fuck shit up.
The Nega Moon.
Yeah, like Prince Diamond and all that.
So this princess Nega Moon.
Nah, it's more Sailor Moon. Like nothing really special happens.
It's just still Monster of the Week. There's just a different bad guy producing the Monsters of the Week.
Yes, pretty much. Now it gets into like the history and backstory a lot, which is cool. But otherwise, it's not like super different than the first bits of Sailor Moon, except the whole team's together the whole time.
What about the circus part that's in that music
That's
video?
way, 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 way later. That's 2 seasons. So after that R stuff is S. Start with it. Just when S starts, just watch that. Because that's when all the others...
A completely different bad guy creates the Monsters of the Week.
Yeah,
and that bad guy is better than the other one somehow.
Well, that bad guy's way better because it's a complicated bad guy.
It's a bad guy who makes Monsters of the Week. What the fuck is the difference?
So you know how in the beginning Sailor Moon, it's like new sailors come
They get
one by
punished in
one?
the name of the moon, just like the ones that you think I should skip over.
Yeah, but you know how new sailors come one by one and then like the team's like being built out? Sailor Moon R is we already got the team, some amnesia, and we reform the same team again, and then it's just like the team. S is all the awesome Sailor Scouts coming in one by one from the outside.
So different good guys fighting the Monster of the Week.
Yes. And you know what? They're just way better sailors. Like, they're better at this shit.
Their boat doesn't crash.
Yeah.
They've been to the West Indies.
Pretty much. Their boat. It's just, you know what it is? It's Horatio, and then like double Horatio, and then triple Horatio. Like every sailor that comes after the first Inner Senshi is just better.
All right.
But, so I was also watching Sailor Moon Crystal. And
Why?
Because I wanted to review it.
I don't know why you keep watching bad things. Have you watched every episode of Sailor Moon Crystal?
No, I actually stopped, and I kind of want to talk about why now, because there's...
Have you watched have you watched more Yoa Pedals, or have you watched
I've watched way more Yoa Pedals than I've watched Crystals. So here's the deal with Crystal. Crystal is bad.
You
It
don't
is
say.
poorly executed.
We already discussed this.
Yeah, we have. So, I was saying, I'll watch it anyway to review, and,
Why?
just so I can review
You
it.
gotta have something better to be watching.
Yeah, plus it's not that long. Like, it's
There's a new Mushishi season. Why not watch that?
because it moves through the story of Sailor Moon. Like, aside from the fact that it's technically poorly executed, it just moves through, like, the manga Sailor Moon, like, way fast. And that could be cool. The thing that is preventing me from ever watching this until maybe they finish it and it's on Blu Ray is that, you know how anime nowadays, when they make the show for TV, a lot of stuff is badly animated, and then they like fix it in the Blu-ray release. Like that's totally like a Kill la Kill. Like every anime
but
does
Sailor
that.
Moon Crystal is so bad. Even if they fixed it, wouldn't it still be bad?
See, you'd say that, but here's the fucked up thing. I'm going to link to this article that shows like just a really wide collection of all the changes. And it's not just that they're cleaning up the animation and fixing like
They redid the whole show.
Basically, yeah.
Cell by cell.
yeah. So basically, look at this shit.
Then
So
why didn't they do that in the first place?
yeah. So the left is what was aired on TV and what was aired on Crunchyroll. See that all those fucked up faces, all things we're complaining about. The right doesn't just redo it. The right changes the style to look like the original anime.
Well, the right is
Look at that one at the bottom
the
there.
right is a greater improvement over the original than any other show I've seen versus in the TV versus Blu Ray thing. But it's still not.
What do you mean? It
incredible.
looks exactly like the original anime
It's
now.
still not so good that it's going to be worth watching.
Well, the primary problems with Sailor Moon Crystal was that just technically it was very poorly executed,
Yeah.
even though the story is fine.
Right.
Like,
and it's
following
like
the
even
manga.
if they make the design correct, like the animate, the poses and whatnot are still gonna be the same.
No, they're redoing the poses too. They're redoing fucking everything. It's like it's being reanimated. It's ridiculous.
It's a big difference. I mean, I can't deny that it's a humongous difference, bigger than any difference I have ever seen in TV versus DVD. It's still not good enough to be watching.
I think it'll be worth watching on the Blu-ray because Sailor Moon's main problem is that it moves so fucking slow and it goes on forever.
But you got nothing better to do.
Yeah, I do. You know what? If I'm going to watch the slow show, I'm watching LOGH.
I'm waiting till I'm an old man for that shit.
I think
gotta save something.
Gerald said it best.
Delayed gratification.
He said Legend of Galactic Heroes is best watched alone. You can't watch that with someone else because you just got to sit down and pay attention.
You'll all be dead, and then I'll need something to do
yeah,
while waiting to die.
There is no way you're outliving me.
There is many ways, like when you die skiing.
But independent of our divergent opinions on whether or not Sailor Moon Crystal on Blu-ray is going to be worth watching to review, here is my point. The fact that they released Sailor Moon Crystal to TV and Crunchyroll as it is, compared to what they're turning it into, one, I don't think they planned to clean it up this much because it's not just cleanup. I think that they realized they fucked it up and the bad press was getting so bad that they actually are making a stylistic decision.
No one in Japan is intelligent like that.
No, but then explain
In
why
a
they
nerd
did
industry.
this. It's not intelligent. They already fucked up.
I don't
and
know.
now
All I
instead
can
of,
say though is that of those 8 panels you're looking at, the second one on the left, right? Yeah, that one.
yeah,
Yeah, with the lazy eye.
yeah.
You know, while it's obviously like, it's so bad, but it's sort of like, hey.
Except that's not what she was saying. At that
Obviously,
scene.
but it's like, hey.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that exists.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wait. You want bad still?
Like if it
images
was the
from
one,
Sailor Moon?
if it was the better one on the right to begin with, we might not have insulted the show to begin with, but we wouldn't have that amazing hey lazy eye frame to look at.
The most stark one is the one at the bottom.
The bottom one where there's no depth to her face. Her face is like a
Yep. It's like
paper
skeleton
sheet.
face.
It's like a paper sheet on a neck stick.
But the fact that I think they originally intended to clean the show up, like every anime, like Kill la Kill did the same thing, and I think they have redirected to not just cleaning it up, but changing.
Maybe
the
someone who
style.
sucks got fired, and then they slave drove someone else for no money all night to fix it.
But the moral is, if you care about the show at all,
And that you're cracking that whip, you
do not
demanding quality animation. Or the
Do
whip
not
cracker.
watch this show on Crunchyroll. Do not watch it live. Do not watch it on TV. Fuck that business. If you're gonna watch it, there is literally no reason to not wait for and or pirate the Blu-rays.
Or
at
you
this
could just
point.
not watch it at all.
Yeah, you could say that about any piece of media.
I could say that of any bad piece of media.
It's not that bad. It's just poorly executed in a way that somehow.
If it was anything else but Sailor Moon, you wouldn't give any shits.
No, not necessarily, because the
There are
fact
like
that
20 better animes you could be watching.
name 20 anime that I haven't already seen that are recent that are worth watching.
I picked a number that was too big.
Name
Bummer.
5.
Well, there's a new Mushishi show.
Yeah.
All right.
One,
you
that's
haven't watched
one.
every episode of Yo-Pan.
Yep. So that's 2.
Okay, I can keep going.
2.
There's a super deformed Hokuto no Ken. that's
Those always
hilarious.
suck unless you can show me evidence that this one doesn't suck. I don't
good.
trust it.
It's good.
Is it really, Scott?
Yeah, they just got licensed by.
Yeah. Is it really actually good? Is it the one we already
better
watched?
than Sailor Moon Crystal.
Is it the one where they work in like the convenience store?
Yes.
Because that one kind of sucked.
That one's good.
No. You still only named 2.
You haven't watched Space Brothers. There's a zillion episodes of that motherfucker.
Yeah, so
I
while
haven't watched it either.
yeah, so that's a
Hold on.
wash because while arguably it is a better
I don't
show,
have to have watched it.
it's got the old Sailor Moon problem if there's a billion episodes.
There's a billion episodes of fairy tales from Japan.
Yeah, and you know what? I've watched almost all of them
You
because
haven't
that show's
watched almost all
amazing.
of them.
I watch them like every time I'm mopping and sweeping and like doing shit in the apartment.
Um,
I also watch them while I'm dead in Counter-Strike.
You should make a mod for Counter-Strike where when you're dead, it would switch to VLC and then switch back when you come back to life.
That
And
actually
automatically
would
pause and unpause.
that would be an amazing thing to make.
All right, so make it.
Or even better, just have it show you a random YouTube video every time you're dead.
There's some show the listeners keep telling us to watch that looks like a perverted show, and I need you to confirm.
Bakemonogatari?
No.
'Cause that's the perverted one.
Akame ga Kill or something? I need you to confirm.
Wait, who told us to watch that? Because I've read things that tell me that those people might be bad people.
I did a Google image search, and I'm pretty sure this show is garbage, harem, whatever, pervertedness. But people are saying we should watch it, so you go check it out first.
Isn't this the show that people in the Animators Network forum were like flipping out when people criticized it?
I don't know anything about that, because
Okay.
I've never been to the Anime News Network
I
forum.
am going to use a term that I've been using. I've been saying this word a lot lately. Skep. I am skep about this show.
You're too lazy to say skeptical?
No, because skep implies this sort of like, I am above this and I am skeptical of it. That's what skep means.
Well, you still need to watch it to, you know.
Yeah, so if I have to watch the show to review it, why don't I watch the Blu Ray Sailor Moon Crystal?
Because you know everything there is to know about Sailor Moon. You need to go and do this for me. I don't care about Sailor Moon. I need information about this show.
Scott, you would care a lot more about Sailor Moon if you knew about Sailor Moon. You should watch
Whatever.
more Sailor Moon.
Also, I can think of some old animes you haven't seen. Have you seen all of Pat Lavore TV?
No, I
You
saw.
haven't.
No.
There you go.
All right, so already you've had to deviate into old ass anime. Scott,
But I thought you said you've seen all the anime.
Yeah.
But apparently one of the greatest shows of all time
All right,
you
Scott,
haven't seen.
I'm gonna cancel that out. Have you seen all of Koto-cha?
Neither have you.
I've seen more of it than you.
You haven't
All
seen-
you've seen is half of that like movie compilation because you fell asleep during it.
Listen, not everyone can watch anime at 2 a.m.
How much Project A-ko have you seen?
I saw all of it a zillion years ago, and I
Have you
remember
actually seen all of it, Scott?
it was
How
on
many?
Sci-Fi Channel.
How,
and I remember nothing.
Scott, not
I
all.
was like, who knows
Scott,
how old?
there's way more Project A-ko than was aired on the Sci-Fi Channel.
I saw everything that was on the Sci-Fi Channel,
So you saw like the first 1-2 episodes,
and I remember nothing.
did you see the movie Battle Gray, Battle Blue? Well, the OAV.
I didn't even know a thing like that existed.
Well, okay. Well, all
But
right.
I doubt that it is more important to watch than Pat Lavore the TV series. At least the
I'm
first.
betting that old Project A-ko is way more important to watch than Agame ga Kill, which, funnily enough,
I'm not defending Akame ga Kill. I'm
when
just
I
saying
typed
I want you
Agame
to,
ga Kill,
I need you to see it so that I can know
it looks like a lot
without
of people.
suffering on my own.
I tried to type Akame, and then Google was like ga Kill and no kill. So I think people don't actually know the title of this anime.
I don't know what the difference is.
It's about an assassin group night raid to end corrupt. What?
Is it like noir?
Serialization of Square Enix's the more I read about this, the less likely it is that this is good.
I didn't think it was good to begin with.
It might be a perverted Darker Than Black. This might be Darker Than Black plus Bakemonogatari.
Anyway.
Anyway.
In news, if you're in New York because you're an awesome person and not somewhere else as a totally lame-o geographical location, every other place on the entire face of the earth, this is a good week to be in New York because...
Well, it's always a good week to be in New York.
An even better week to be in New York because an even more awesome person than you is in New York named Brian K. Vaughan, perhaps one of the greatest comic book writers alive and working at
What's
this
he
time.
doing here? It's not New York Comic Con.
He's just hanging out in town, and tomorrow he's going to be at the Kinokuniya bookstore
Huh?
from
Which one?
the one near Bryant Park
Okay.
from 3 to 6.
The one
And-
where we interviewed TM Revolution? That one.
Yes,
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah,
And-
guys, we interviewed TM Revolution once.
And the day after that, he's going to be in Midtown Comics downtown. So it's like there isn't even a convention, but it's the only person you would need to see at a convention anyway.
New York, it's living in
I
New
mean, if there
York.
was a convention, he is the only person you would see. And anything you would buy at the convention, you can buy at either of these two stores.
Living in New
So
York
just
is
come
like
to New York and
being
you can
at a
see
convention.
Him, you can see him twice go to Kinokuniya, go to Midtown. It won't even take you all day. You won't have to pay an entry fee. And yeah, dude wrote Saga, so it's better than anyone else you're going to see in your town. And if you're in New York, well, go see him. I might try to see him tomorrow at Kinokuniya after work. He's going to be there from 3 to 6, so I can leave work at 5 and just walk over there. It's really close. And maybe there won't be a huge line.
All right.
Or maybe I'll just go home.
So I got a real quick geek bite here. So a show that I just ignored for whatever reason for a long time. Enough people I trust told me to watch it, and one of them was like, I'm just putting on they pulled my trick of just put on an episode while they're hanging out, and then they'll watch it. So they did that to me, and I watched an episode of Rick and Morty. And Rick and Morty is really, really, really good. And kind of like how I've recommended The Amazing World of Gumball and, Venture Brothers, Archer, all those shows, Rick and Morty makes that vaunted list. Rick and Morty is basically, imagine if Doctor Who was crossed with the Doc from Back to the Future and was fucked up and kind of mean and possibly evil, and he was taking his grandson on Doctor Who-style adventures through the universe.
That doesn't make me want to watch that.
Yeah, because you hate animation and you don't watch anything, so I didn't even expect
Why are you watching this instead of Mamoru Oshii created Pat Laborde the TV series?
Rick and Morty is pretty fucking hilarious.
Uh-huh.
It's got that thing going on kind of like
more
Venture Brothers
hilarious
did.
than robot police cops going out to get Chinese food?
That isn't hilarious so much as like sense of good-natured camaraderie.
Well, you see that episode, it's actually one of those fucked up weirdo episodes.
Yeah.
Where everything's dark and spooky.
Rick and Morty has that same kind of thing going on that like Venture Brothers does, where it's funny, it's mean-spirited, it is dark humor, but yet the characters are deep and interesting enough, the stories are interesting enough, the whole world and everything they're setting up around them is such that you actually like really get into these characters and it can kind of grow and build on itself and do really fun stuff. So I'll talk about it more in depth at some point later. Season 2 was supposed to air in 2015. They're running out of time on that. But season 1 is great, and the entire thing is just totally free, and you can just watch it on the Cartoon Network website, like right now. So watch Rick and Morty.
After you watch every other show, especially the most important animation that was made. I mean, we've talked about so many animes right now and so many cartoons right now. We have neglected to mention the greatest animation that has been created in the past few months is South Park.
South Park's been hitting it out of the park lately.
I think it's been hitting it right on the park.
Well, no, it's hitting it out of the park like a home run.
It's North Park now?
If you hit it on the park, that's at best an RBI.
It's South Park. If it had it out of the park, it wouldn't be good.
That was a stretch. Anyway, things of the day. So we're going to be at Anime Boston, and we're going to be at ZenkaiCon doing our anime panels and all that stuff.
Are we going to ZenkaiCon?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah, we're going. Well, it's either ZenkaiCon or GeneriCon.
We can just not do either one.
I really need the people. It's a Tokakokon. We perform at ZenkaiCon, and in return, certain high-quality people staff at Kineticon.
Are they going to refuse to go to Kineticon if we refuse to go to ZenkaiCon?
I don't know, probably not. But also, you know what? ZenkaiCon's kind of fun.
Because Kineticon's actually, I would go to Kineticon if I wasn't working there.
I would, yeah. Kineticon's like one of... Kineticon...
I would
Some
not
but not
go
all
to
PAXs,
ZenkaiCon.
MagFest.
Even though I'm working there, I still kind of don't want to go to ZenkaiCon.
But one, I'll go to ZenkaiCon because we can take the train directly there and back. And two...
Oh, right. There was that train that went out to the end.
We don't really do a lot of anime cons anymore, but yeah, we have a lot of good anime content. So in that con, I'm going to do a new version of anime openers from around the world because I found some shit.
You did find some shit indeed.
Yes. Good God. Lupin, Lupin, Lupin.
Right.
That might be my favorite thing. So one of the parts of that panel is the Portuguese opener to Harlock. Mm-hmm. And I learned from both a fan and Lou that was based, two separate people. I don't know if I call Lou a fan. He's more a friend.
I thought he's a fan of Harlock.
No, of us. The fan of us told me this.
Oh, okay.
Lou also told me this.
All right.
So that song was the way it was because the Harlock opener is like melodramatical Japanese music.
Mm-hmm.
Harlock is a melodramatic show. The opener in Portuguese.
Have you seen that show?
I've seen a bunch of it, but
Why are you watching
so
Sailor Moon Crystal?
the Portuguese opener is that melodrama dialed up to like 1,000,000. Like, it's amazing. And the reason for that is because it's based on a style of music that's basically known only to Portugal, fado. Fado, F-A-D-O, is essentially the music that came from wives wailing at the ocean in sorrow and melancholy for their husbands who are sailing the endless seas.
Yeah, because their ships got blowed up by
Yes.
England, Spain, France.
Well, also just because sailing the endless seas in the 15 and 1600s was a lot
you
more
also just sink.
mysterious and scary and amazing.
There be dragons.
So that music was why that opener was the way it was, and probably why Harlock is so fucking popular in Portugal. This is a video of
The old
Amalia
ladies are big Harlock fans. 'cause
Rodriguez.
He reminds them of their husbands.
So
that
Amalia
died at sea.
Rodriguez, I can't pronounce Portuguese at all. I'm not sure what that accent means, is basically the queen of fado music. And this is video of her performing fado music. The melancholy might melt you.
So, one of the best, speaking of comics from before, right? While Brian K. Vaughan might be one of the best living writers of comics that are printed and on the shelf of the comic book store, one of the best makers of webcomics these days be Casey Green.
Casey Green.
But did you know, creator of such great comics as Gun Show and Anime Club, which is part of Gun Show and such. Gun Show be ending, yo. Like,
Oh, wow.
He's already uploaded the final Gun Shows, and they are displaying on a schedule, and by the end of this year, there will be no more Gun Shows. Possibly ever. Likely ever.
You know, if you never read Gun Show, this is your trigger. You might as well start, because you're just going to read it all the way to the end and
Yep.
not have to, like, wait.
However, do not fret. Casey Green is doing two other well, he's doing a lot of other things. He's done like some he did some regular show comic books and some things like that. But he is doing two other webcomics right now. One of them is called Back, which seems to be a continuing story, beginning with some dude kicking his way out of a grave.
That's already up my alley.
So that you can be found at backcomic.com, BACKCOMIC. And then he's also doing Carlo Collodi's Pinocchio, adapted by Casey Green. And that is at Carlo Collodi's Pinocchio.
I want to fix your nose.
Tumblr.com. And so you should.
Nice.
So once you finish Gun Show at the end of this year, delete that from your Comic Rocket, which you should be using, and add these two things to your Comic Rocket, and you're now +1 comic. It's only a good thing in my book.
In the meta moment, we're going to be at PAX South performing Bad Games on Sunday in the Armadillo Theater. It's going to be awesome. Otherwise, we'll just be there eating barbecue and making fun of the South. The book club book is Watership Down. It's about rabbits on a journey. It's a great book.
Find us on the internet. We are everywhere on the internet that you are. If you're not on the internet enough, be on the internet more.
And join the Geeknights forum. We pay a lot of money for that fucking thing.
Close your eyes and imagine a room with many tables and nerds hanging out doing many things, such as playing games with each other and chatting it up and hanging out and doing stuff. That is the internet. Why are you not in that room all the time? We are in this room. It has a big-ass sign out the door. You can't miss it. Come in that room, and then we'll lock you in.
Also, we ban people from the room who have bad grammar and spelling or who make dumb arguments.
There are no smelly that guys in that room. Occasionally, we go and let in a dumbass into the room and have fun with them, and then they walk their own ass out.
Yeah, like when that Gomer Gator came in. I noticed how he's gone.
He gone.
Yeah, he gone.
He gone.
He sleep. World Star. I need a World Star gift to post every time we drive that guy out of the forum.
Well, go find him.
I will.
All
so,
right.
Speaking of webcomics that you should add to your Comic Rocket, if you haven't been reading Cucumber Quest, or QQ as the cool kids call it, that's what we're about to talk about.
All right, so Cucumber Quest is a webcomic made by a very awesome person named Gigi DG.
Gigi, who you should follow on Twitter.
The best name ever.
Because, one, she tweets awesome art. Two, her Twitter is hilarious, and it's exactly 50% as crazy as
Cucumber Quest?
Natasha Allegri's Twitter.
I followed Natasha Allegri for 2 days and I couldn't handle it. It was too strong.
You know what? Following her on Twitter is like just mainlining internet.
Yeah. So anyway, I always knew this existed, but I didn't read it because it was so far along. I didn't have time to catch up.
I read it like religiously.
Right. Rim was reading it religiously on the webcomic version. What I did instead is she has Kickstarters for every volume. And she just finished kickstarting volume 3, and I kickstarted 1 and 2 and received 1 and 2, but never read them. And volume 3 is on its way, and I'm probably just going to kickstart it and read it in volumes, because each volume, it's sort of like it's one of those segmented stories with, bosses on an adventure. So each volume is like one segment, so it's really easy to read that way, and a lot more comfortable and fast than reading the webcomic going next.
Though at the same time,
I'm sure one day the printed volumes will catch up to the webcomic, and then I can switch over.
The reason I enjoyed reading it as a webcomic primarily was that because I was already pretty much caught up the whole time.
Where was it when you started reading it?
We hadn't got. I was reading it from near the beginning. Like we hadn't gotten too far.
I did not discover it early enough.
Yeah. So,
but when I did see it many years ago, I saw the arts and I was like, oh my God, this comic is. I mean, regardless of anything else I know about it, I saw like pictures of it and I knew it was incredible. I just didn't read it because.
So my enjoyment of reading on the web was that because I only got one page at a time, I would spend a lot more time appreciating the art of the page.
I spent quite a lot of time appreciating.
Because things to appreciate.
On it.
The colors and framing. It has this kind of watercolory, awesome.
There aren't a lot of
out.
webcomics that look like this.
Exactly. The characters are super cute. She puts a lot of attention into their hair and outfits.
If you look at some of the extras in the back of the printed volumes, she shows like the development of like the character design for like Princess Nautilus over the years, and it's like whoa, and you can just see like her drawing skill getting better and the design getting better and everything getting better, and it's oh my gosh.
So it's a story about a rabbit named Cucumber who's trying to go to wizard school, and his stupid dad makes him go save the world.
Yep.
And he doesn't want to.
This is somewhere in between, right? Like Bone and
a little bit of Bone
and Adventure Time, right?
That's a really good way to put it.
It's
actually.
like Bone has some comedies, but it's sort of like a more serious adventure, even though it has comedies. And Adventure Time is also serious and has comedies,
but it's mostly
right. And this is like right in the middle of those two. Like you take Adventure Time and you tone it down with some Bone, and you get add some cuteness.
Yep,
the
like
Adventure
Cucumber
Time
Quest
side is
very self-aware, and
Mm-hmm.
it does a little bit of that like trope deconstruction. Like, oh, the great hero has to come. Well, this has happened 99 times before. That seems stupid. Oh, and all the characters recognize this. But at the same time, it doesn't rely on that as the only reason you care about it.
Yeah, no. The greatness of Cucumber Quest is really just that most of the characters are just awesome.
Yeah, pretty
Right?
much. Scott, on 3, we should name 1, 2, 3. What is your favorite character?
Anyone that's a crab.
So just the Crab Bros?
Well, okay, so here's the problem. Is how do I choose, right? At first, they come out with these crab mafias, and I'm like, Crab Mafia is the best.
Crab Bros.
And then there's Crab Bro, which is one crab who wears sunglasses, who's like, deal with it, I'm Crab Bro, but I'm the nicest, awesomest dude, but I'm a bro. And then they got Bubblebeard, the giant crab pirate king who runs a tropical resort because he's done pirating, and it's like, how can it be better than that? Well, Crab Bro is about equal to that.
Yeah.
And pretty much anyone that's a crab is the best.
Meanwhile, I'm just a fan of like
Crab people.
Peridot.
Peridot's also awesome.
More like Peridot.
Yeah, Peridot is like so awesome.
She reminds me of the witch girl from the old Game Boy Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, the Ages and Seasons.
Yeah.
The only thing wrong with Peridot is that she is not a crab. That is the only thing that keeps her from being tier 1 is that she does not have 2 big red claws and a beard made of bubbles.
I also really like Kyuko's little sister. Almonds.
Yeah, she's okay. She's
well,
good.
partly because she's got that very much like, fuck it, I got a sword. Let's just fucking do this.
They're
What's
a lot
wrong?
like the main characters from Attack on Titan, right? Where the dude is sort of like, the plot dude, and then the badass. Well, in Attack on Titan is not actually his sister, but, sort of like the sister character, the person in that slot is the badass, awesome sword, stabby, killy person.
Yep. But what's
Mikasa,
funny too is that
right, Mikasa and Eren.
I was reading this, and then relatively recently, I got into the amazing world of Gumball. In Gumball, the little sister Anais is a rabbit girl, and her and Almond are extremely similar.
Alrighty.
which is just kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I also really like Cucumber's dad
Mm.
because he's up to something.
Mm. Well, it's like Cucumber's dad started out as like his few times I saw him, I was like, this guy sucks. I still don't like him that much.
You haven't gotten to
he's definitely doing something because he's hanging in that. He's not stupid. You can tell he's not dumb, and he's hanging out in that prison cell even though it's locked. And he obviously spied on the bad guys once already. At the minimum, he's staying there on purpose to spy on the bad guys, if not more than that, right?
Yep.
And like, why didn't he could have messed up those balls, but he chose not to. But he knew the deal. So
well, it's interesting because if you read the story, it's pretty much the story of the heroes are on their adventure, and all the adults around them know what the deal is and won't tell them.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the friggin' Oracle, she can go suck a dick.
Yeah, she's the worst. She's mean. Well, yeah, obviously there's some big plot around that.
Hey, Oriole, why don't you do it yourself? Don't tell me how to do my job.
Yep.
It's like, what?
But I like how Nightmare Knight is one of my favorite kinds of villains because obviously he is bad.
Oh, yeah.
And even if he is bad for like good reasons.
It's like you haven't seen him personally do anything bad, but it's like he brought back all the masters and told them to do bad stuff. So he's bad.
But he has that sort of like bad, sad characteristic of great villains. Because
he's more like a Dr. Doom or a Magneto than just a blow up the world crazy bad guy. Like
so you're way behind, but there's a lot of really great interactions between him and other characters.
Well,
I
got to a part where towards the end of volume 2, the three dumb characters.
Oh, those guys! I hate those guys.
Well, Bacon's good, but the other two are not.
Bacon's
so good.
got 1 star in every attribute. He's the worst.
Anyway, but the lead of those guys was trying to get kissy on the French princess.
Oh yeah, Nightmare Knight's like.
Nightmare Knight's like, yeah, cut that shit out. I'm the Nightmare Knight. Do what I say.
So there is a continuing relationship between him and Parfait that's just really, really fun.
Oh, I hope that they get it on and kick Carrot's. What's his name? Carrot?
Carrot's not bad. He's just really, really earnest.
Parfait and Nightmare Knight would be way better than...
Parfait and Nightmare Knight is a pretty good ship.
Right, but forget Carrot and Parfait, the canon one. Fuck that relationship.
I like Queen Cordelia, too, because the sort of initial quote-unquote baddie is basically a lot like Queen Beryl in Sailor Moon. You said, I'd love to interview
She's better than Queen Beryl.
But in terms of, you don't know Queen Beryl's full story, so I can't really spoil anything, but
I don't give a shit.
She's obviously trying to play 2 sides of a coin and failing at it.
Yeah, but it's like she's also bad, but she's not stupid bad, and she's not crazy bad. She's just, sort of, naughty.
That's not how I would describe it, but I see. Well, it's just one of those, like, Queen Beryl's trying to, I'm not going to spoil Sailor Moon. We'll talk about that later.
Right. Actually, I think that who's the guy who made the boat that exploded or whatever?
Oh, that guy.
He's actually the baddest, right? In terms of like attitude and personality, he is the most evil, I think.
I don't know.
I do like that he's all technology-y, but other than that,
I don't know if it's just the face or what, but whenever I see him, I think just without any question, my brain is like, is that George Rohack? And I'm like, no, it's not. But
so short plot summary, right? The kid Cucumber wants to go to wizard school, the best wizard school in the land. He's gonna go tomorrow, but then suddenly that's when the bad guys decide to resurrect the great evil, and his dad is like, well, you have to be the chosen one because it runs in our family. So go get the sword and do it, go on the adventure. Go do it now. He's basically ordered to go on the adventure, even though his sister's probably really the hero.
Yeah.
But he has to do it anyway. So he starts going on the adventure, and the adventure is basically get the dream sword, magic sword, secret of mana sword, master sword.
Yep.
And then beat all 8 robot masters, regular masters of evil, starting with the splash. There's 1 in each kingdom, so you have to go to all the
disaster masters.
Right, you have to go to every kingdom in the whole world, meet all the characters, meet all the princesses and people that live in every place, create an awesome adventuring party, collect the items on the quest of magic, learn things and grow up and become awesome and beat these masters. And then come back to the Central Kingdom and beat the final bad guy. And then everything will be revealed at the end. All the secrets in the webcomic will end the end.
Yep. So RPG world,
so
RPG plot.
So it doesn't really matter, the plot. It's all about, it's because it's such a straightforward plot. It's all about the details of, each situation and what the characters are doing.
And I guess that's where it
And
really shines.
And of course, what the final deal is.
Yeah.
Right? Why is this, we've seen this cliche story a zillion times before, but here the characters are openly recognizing that there has been a pattern that's repeated 100 times of summoning.
99 times.
Right, 99 times summoning and then temporarily banishing the Nightmare Knight. And it has to be at the end of this 100th time that they're going to figure out the real deal.
Well, it could go a Fire Emblem route. Like, it could go a route of, like, is the story...
Well, they could, A, realize why it has to be this way and just do it
That's what I was
the
about
way
to
it's
say.
always been done. B, see the way it's always been done and figure out some way around it. And what that way around it is then becomes important. Is the way around it, don't banish him.
Is it a Shinsekai Yori sort of like come of age in a new world and understand it for what it is? Basically, is the end Cucumber and everyone saying, okay, we understand what the adults are all about?
Mm-hmm. It could
or
be
Moldbreaker.
Right. Could be banish him for real permanently.
Kill him.
And then it's like, the sister was actually the hero. You get to go to wizard school. Oh, you don't need to go to wizard school because you already became a wizard on this quest. So now you're in charge of wizard school. You're the new king. Stuff like that can happen at the end.
The other interesting thing is that the characters and just the story and the setting and things very commonly surprise me. Every time I think, okay, I see where this is going. Nope, something crazy happens.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what else I can say. It's a webcomic. Like, you can just read it for free. You don't need to buy anything.
Well, you can. You should buy the books because the books have extra shit in them and they're kickstarted.
Yep.
I'm sure you can get the old volumes. It can't be that hard to get them. But if you get the old volumes, then you can start doing what I'm doing. Just kickstart each volume as it comes out.
You can do that.
And then if you pay more money than I'm paying, because I'm only paying the book level, if you pay more levels, you can get more stuff.
But I guess put it this way: if you're not sold on this by our unabashed joy about just talking about it,
you can read the webcomic for free to figure out.
Yeah, go read like the first bit.
Click on shop and see if they're selling the books.
Let's see, shop.
Ooh, are they selling any other merch? Yeah, there it is, Volume 1.
Disaster Stone pins, print sets, print set, group print, cucumber dress.
How much are the volumes?
Sold out. A lot of these things are sold out. I guess cucumber dress is very popular.
How much are the volumes?
Hardcover of book 1, $65. Soft cover of book 1, $20.
All right.
Yeah.
There you go. I wouldn't get the hardcover one.
I don't know. It depends.
You're going to pay $65? I don't think so.
It depends on how into it you get.
You got to be way into it to need that.
Yeah.
For $65, you could get 3 volumes instead of 1 volume.
Well, like I said, depends on how into it you get.
How into it are you?
I really like Cucumber Quest.
Yeah, it's good.
This has been Geeknights with Rim and Scott. Special thanks to DJ Pretzel for the opening music, Kat Lee for web design, and Brando K for the logos.
Be sure to visit our website at frontrowcrew.com for show notes, discussion, news, and more.
Remember, Geeknights is not 1, but 4 different shows. Sci-Tech Mondays, Gaming Tuesdays, Anime Comic Wednesdays, and Indiscriminate Thursdays.
Geeknights is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license. Geeknights is recorded live with no studio and no audience. But unlike those other late shows, it's actually recorded at night.
Com música de Alfredo Marceneiro.